N4HNH here. Thought I'd give you guys a tour of the shack. Most of the videos are all zoomed in on the FTDX5000, so I thought I'd give you guys a little view of the shack. By the way, 10 meters is open. A guy out in the Ozarks there. So actually a new addition over here too. So in some of the previous videos, when I might have panned over here to the left, there was an AL80B, and then this tuner was on top of it. So now I've got an Cushcraft KPA 1500, and then the tuner is sitting under it. That's the original Palstar AT-AUTO, not the HF Auto, the AT-AUTO. And then next is my 2-meter rig that I use as a base station, 2-meter mobile, I guess you'd say, but I use it as a base station. That's a Yaesu FT2980. I like the fact that it produces 80 watts and no fan noise. The little mount you see it sitting in, let me move this microphone out of the way a second. The mount you see it sitting in, my dad made back in the 70s for a CB radio. And so I've mounted my antenna selector switch above it, on the top of it, and then the 2980's sound comes out of that speaker right there. That's a wedge speaker that used to go in the cars used to have a back windshield type thing, and there was a shelf there, and you could put a couple of those for your stereo speakers. So that's where that came from. Let me turn this down. So that's my 2-meter base station. We do a lot of simplex 2 meters here, and also too chasing summits on the air stations in North Georgia. I'm in the northern portion of Metro Atlanta, so the 80 watts from that radio helps with me chasing some of the HTs that are up on the mountaintops up in North Georgia. So then, yeah, there's the FTDX5000 MP Limited, and the Dewa. There we go. CN801 is the model number. There we go. So I think it's an older model of theirs. It is. I actually have calibrated mine against a good standard, so it's accurate. Love the fact that it has a light in it. Just helps you read it better. Marvin Martian, Standing Guard, one of my favorite cartoons. Here's Ham Radio Deluxe up on the screen. I've got it set up as you see there. I've got a cable connecting so it can track, for logging purposes, track my frequency, and of course up on the top dial it's following the VFO, or I can tune it up there. And then so see here on the radio, now I'm doing it with the mouse wheel. Here we go. So I've got the regular logging in the green, where you see the green and white, and the bottom is the DX cluster. You can click on, if you want to work one of those guys, just click on it and then it'll load it into the rig, mode and frequency. And then I set it up where I've got the gray line map and the UTC clock running. And over here on the right, you can actually see those call signs. Those are people that are showing up in the DX cluster with lines pointed to what portion of the band they're in. See if I can get that to focus a little better. So, and you can see if I move up and down in frequency, that little M there, well, I'm not moving very far at all, so you can't really see much change. But on the bands that are narrower, you'll see that little thing move, showing where I'm tuned to. So then over here on the right is my other monitor, and I have that set to monitor for summits on the air spots. And then there's QRZ for doing the lookup. What I generally do is at the end of a session operating, I will then just highlight all my new contacts that are not already over in QRZ. And I'll do the, highlight them, right click, you can highlight however many I've done since the last time I updated QRZ, and I'll do the export deal. Here we go, export ADIF, and then I'll import that in over here on QRZ just so I can get my confirmations and things such as that. And then I'm using a wireless keyboard just to try to keep down from the clutter on the desk. I guess I should also, I didn't mention this, but there's my high-O headset. I actually don't usually talk through that, but I do listen through that. A PR781 microphone. I've got the P-pop filter thing on it there. And then the over here is an old BlackBerry tablet. I've got another video where I talked about how I repurposed that for a UTC clock. And there's another Marvin Martian guarding a Yaesu Mew tuner, the one for 80 and 60 and 40 meters. There's my SOTA trophy for chasing. If you're into SOTA, you'll know what that's all about. There's my other SOTA trophy for activations. There's a little goat on there that's representing, meaning SOTA goat. And then this one is for a sloth, a shack sloth, for chasing. And then there's another Mew tuner over here. This one is a new acquisition. That one is for 30 meters and 20 meters. I do not have the one for 160. The rock there, the small one and the big one, those are from, well, the summit that I was on when I made my 1,000th point with Summits on the Air to achieve the level of SOTA goat. So my friend Joel, KC4WZB, said, hey, you ought to grab a rock from the summit as a memento. So I got a little one and a bigger one. So that's what those are. And then a little weather monitoring station there, so that when we have Skywarn or whatever's going on in the weather, I can provide temperature, humidity, and most importantly wind speeds and rainfall levels that Skywarn asks for. And I guess finally I should mention these two. The controller here that I have programmed for the buttons on here, I have programmed to send my call sign for CW, and then a 559, 579, 599, and dit. So the 5 buttons here for CW that I have, or programmed for CW on the controller there that you can get for these Yaesu rigs. And so I can be logging them while my radio is sending them their signal report. Now, if they're a 519 or 529 or 579 or 569, things like that, then I resort to the Kent Morse paddles. Iambic paddle. Let me pull the cover off here so you can see. And that is a phenomenal paddle, bearing drive. You can see the 2 bearings on the top. Oh man, does that thing feel great. And remarkably priced just only a few dollars more than a bencher, which I had. And there's just no comparison. That thing feels so good. So there you have it, the shack. Well, the customary Yaesu map up there. My license displayed there. And, well, let's just show you the ladder line coming in. So there's the ladder line coming in from the doublet antenna, and then the coax from the other antennas. Those are coming through some glass tubes that go through the wall of the house underneath my deck. They're designed to bring in coax cables. And then everything terminates here and comes down the wall to the back of the works there with the antenna switch and things like that. A Grohl general radio telephone operator license, for those of you who know what that is. So anyway, the ladder line is coming in through the top of that window. So it's just, since it's flat, it works out. I just let the top part of the window down and brought it in, and then pushed the top part of the window up, so it's sort of, pushed up in there. I guess in the shape of an upside down letter U coming through. So there we go. And then, I guess I should. It's messy down there, but there's the power supply for the KPA 1500, and there's my dry dummy load. I've had that thing for many years. Works great. MFJ, I don't know the model number, but that's it. There's a tour of the shack. So hope you enjoyed that. 73 from N4 HNH.